And we're back. Welcome back to the Auto Authorities Podcast. My name is Jay and Gerald coming to you live. Today, we are going to be talking about the UAW potential strike and the implications that it's going to have if they do or if they don't strike. Are you ready to do this, Gerald?
I think this is going to be the big issue coming up for the next week. It's going to really affect everybody looking at cars. Let's go.
Let's go.
Have you ever felt like you were taken for a ride while buying, selling, or repairing your car? Well, not anymore. I'm Jay, and this is the podcast to tell you what to watch out for, whether you are buying, selling, or repairing your car. With over 26 years of automotive experience, we are the Auto Authorities. This podcast is sponsored by IAUtoAgent.com. We're real estate agents for cars.
Yeah, welcome back to the Auto Authorities. I am Jay. That is Gerald. We're coming to you live. And today we're talking about the UAW potential strike and the implications that it's going to have on this entire industry. It is going to be an incredible show, so stay tuned. But before we get going, I want to thank our sponsors, IAUtoAgent.com. IAUtoAgent has two different divisions, a commercial division and they have an individual division. In the commercial division, they act as a strategic partner for commercial businesses with fleets, helping that business owner focus on buying the vehicles, selling the vehicles for maximum profit, and handling those tedious tasks that the business owner shouldn't be doing that are non-revenue generating tasks. And of course, our individual division, real estate agents for cars. We help you not only find a vehicle nationwide, but we deal with the big bad dealer for you. We do all the communications and we tee it up so you get to go pick up your car when you approve the deal. And of course, we'll sell that vehicle at no cost to you. We market, we list, and we show the car, and you never have to meet a strange person ever again, and you get more money. And then we have Wrestling with Sales. Tell us a little bit about Wrestling with Sales, Gerald.
Sure. Hey, this week we actually had a chance to talk to Leland Race. He is the son of Handsome Harley Race, the king of the ring and legend of Missouri wrestling. He's running their own school now, the Harley Race Academy, and World League Wrestling. So good talk with him about building on the legacy and how you have to work to achieve your goals. Also on the Fired Up network now, so you can see it on TV. And you can see this show on Shop Plus TV. It's on a lot of your different streaming apps. You can pick it up. Just search for it in Roku. If you have a TCL TV, it's on there too. So we're getting some broadcast exposure now too. So that's good.
Yeah, and speaking of TV, you can watch us obviously on YouTube, the Auto Authorities on YouTube. You just click the subscribe button, notify button. We are getting a ton of views. We are worldwide. Now we're on TV. And if you want to still watch us, but you want to watch us live, you can actually go to our Facebook group page. Just click the join group button. It's called the Auto Authorities, and it's Tuesday at 12 p.m. Central Time. You can also watch us live on LinkedIn, and you can watch us on 19 different channels such as iTunes, Google Podcasts, Pandora, you name it. And also, as we're going through this, we want to hear your feedback. Leave those comments below. We will personally respond to those. And if you want to send us a direct message, you can just go on the autoauthorities.com and we will respond personally to you. Gerald, let's talk about this UAW strike. This is getting heated. What are your thoughts?
I don't think we're going to see this end up like the UPS strike did. That was the big talk that, well, the UPS strike, it's coming. It's going to devastate the economy, which it would have, right? Because, everything gets shipped now. If you cut shipping off, it would just floor the economy. Yeah, even Amazon, they get a lot of help from UPS. Every company gets stuff from UPS. So UPS's workers really had a pretty good hammer in hand, and they ended up getting a 46% raise. UPS drivers are going to end up at $170,000 per year by the end of the contract. So I think that kind of spirit, that mood, and honestly, just the whole economics of the last few years have really tied into that, right? You can't have record inflation and then the workers are looking and saying, "Oh man, hey, I haven't made any extra money." So there's a huge motivation. There's that UPS accomplishment in one hand, and there's the economic reality in the other. I think they're going to push through. I mean, they're definitely not taking a 10% increase, which is what
And
GM's offered so far.
so literally 10% after all of this. This is I'm just thinking in my head the implications of this strike could be so devastating to the automotive market. I mean, we talk about the pandemic and what that pandemic caused. This is going to be a massive trickle down effect, isn't it?
Well, it's going to continue and kind of push everything back, right? Because since the COVID restrictions have lifted, everybody's been waiting for the auto market to get back to quote unquote normal. Well, that hasn't happened. I mean, it just hasn't. The average prices have just skyrocketed. What people are paying for a car. Here, these are current numbers, just came out in the Wall Street Journal. The average new car loan now has a monthly payment of $750. This is for last month, with an average APR of 9.5%. Your average used car APR, 13.7. So
Insane.
that's a huge, huge inflation on what people would pay for a car. Because I mean, Jay, what payment when people call you, when they ask you at IAUtoAgent, they want to buy a used car, what payment did they say they want to be at?
350 to 400 tops.
And that hasn't changed for 20 years. You ask somebody, hey, what payment you want to be at? Oh, 300, 400. Well, there aren't $300 cars out there.
Mm-mm.
At 9.5%, a $300 car is about a $15,000 car with $2,000 down, financed over 60 months.
Which is basically a $17,000 car.
Yeah, those cars aren't there.
No, they're not. And it used to be when I got in the business back in 96, it was I want a $200 a month payment.
Mhm.
And it is just it's insane. Like I don't know if everybody really realizes that's listening to this right now that if you have a car, let's just say, and you're trying to sell a car right now, these $40,000-$50,000 used cars, people don't want them. You know, they're just going to sit. But if you have under a $20,000 car, holy cow, you've got gold, because that's what people want. If it's fairly new, I mean, obviously, if a thing has 200,000 miles, it's 20 grand, not. But if it has good miles and it's under 20 grand, that's the sweet spot.
Yeah, I was saying it's the power band. When I
Mm-hmm.
talk to dealerships, you want your used inventory between 18 and 24,000,
Yep.
because that's where you're going to hit the widest band of consumers. But
Yep.
the effect of an auto strike to consumers is obviously you limit production. That's going to drive up used car prices again because there's scarcity. And you're cutting off new cars. So what is that going to do to the new cars that are on the lot? Manufacturers can claw back some of those incentives
Mhm.
they've been putting out for Ford, GM, and Chrysler because, we don't have any new cars coming for a month, month and a half. Who cares? We'll sell them eventually. And you get back to more of that mindset that was in place in 2019 and early 2020 that, well, hey, there's no more coming. So it's going to be this because, at the end of the day, the dealerships need to make some money. The salespeople need to make some money. If you're not going to have the volume, well, the price has to go up, right? If supply is
Absolutely.
low, cost has to increase. I mean, that's as basic of economics as you get. So that's the negative effect to the consumers, and it's a continuation of the trends that we've seen since the chip shortage, right?
And
You just aren't seeing the volume of cars coming out.
You're so right, and I think what I hear you saying here, Gerald, is that even though that they made an offer to the UAW workers, that they're not really trying. They're like, okay, you guys want to go on strike? We're gonna get our money back, because they mass produced these huge pickup trucks, these Silverados and these Rams and these F-150s. And right now, if you go and buy one of these vehicles, they have huge incentives on them.
Mm-hmm.
But, and I say but, and just listen and watch this, folks. Watch what happens when the strike comes, and watch those incentives go.
Now, I think you may be giving our friends at Stellantis a little bit too much credit.
Oh,
I honestly don't believe that they were that far ahead in planning to have a 135-day supply of cars on their lots, because they were thinking preemptively about the strike. I honestly think they just kind of maybe stumbled into a fortunate position through bad decision making.
oh yeah,
But
yeah.
hey, here's the offer that was sent out, and this is it. This is right from General Motors. This is what they just sent out on the 7th. There you see Mark Roos, the president of GM, Gerald Johnson, the EVP, recognizing Juneteenth as a paid holiday. Now 16 to 18 paid holidays a year, a $5,500 one-time bonus. Entry-level progression employees earn a 56% wage increase over the contract. So those people are the ones they're hiring in at $16 an hour. Current temp workers will receive a 20% increase to $20 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Eliminate 2 progression steps. And what they mean there, right now, if you're hired in, it takes 8 years to get full union benefits. And that's after you're a full-time worker, because what they're doing a lot, the reason this temporary employee line is important, they're hiring people in as permanent temp workers. So they don't even start earning their credit towards being a full-time union member. And they're coming in at $16 an hour. If you wonder why, if you live by a auto factory, you constantly see TV commercials and billboards saying, oh, come work at GM, come work at Ford. So they're union jobs. Why are they having to advertise? Well, because they're advertising for the $16 an hour job. They're advertising at the same level. They're in the same arena as McDonald's, as Wendy's. If this makes you feel a little bit uncomfortable about buying an American car, as Walmart. They're actually a notch below what Target pays. They're a notch below what Quick Trip pays. They're a notch below what Whataburger pays, what Chick-fil-A pays. That's a big part of the issue right there. That's what's really upsetting people. It's that second bullet point on temporary and in progression employees. A 20% increase is only getting them to $20 an hour. The average car is $50,000. Come on,
somebody's
it's crazy.
making. Yeah, somebody's making.
That's what they're doing. Yeah. Eliminate 2 progression steps, reduce the time to max wage by 25%, and provides double-digit wage increases for all in-progress employees. And then for everybody that's in year 8 and beyond, a 10% increase. So that's what they're looking for, and I don't think they're going to take it. Now, there is one little nugget in there, a $6,000 one-time inflation recognition payment. So they're actually going to get an $11,000 signing bonus if they say yes to this. And if you really want to get into the weeds, you can see the whole offer in detail at gmnegotiations2023.com. You know, just if you got tired, you watched the Chiefs versus the Lions, and you were wondering if Kadarius Toney remembered that the job of the wide receiver is to catch the ball, and you can't watch any more of that, You can have some nice, easy reading and read the whole contract offer at gmnegotiations2023.com. But yeah, that's what they're offering. I don't think that's going to work. I mean, they saw what UPS got. That has a lot more resemblance to what the Screen Actors Guild is being presented by the networks. I think they say no and they push it.
Oh boy. Well,
I mean, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, it's sure looking like that. In my opinion, it doesn't look like they're trying very hard. And I think they're being really greedy as well. And here's my thoughts. The prices keep going up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Profits keep going up, but they're not paying the workers to reflect on that. And that's what I see out of all this. It's just pure greed. And hence the reason why I actually got out of the automotive business, frankly, is I just got so sick of it. Was that they did the same thing to me when I was in sales, is they basically said Jay Grossman's making too much money and we got to pay him less. And I'm like, fuck you guys. I'm getting out of here and I'm gonna go start my own company. And that's what they're doing to these workers. And these workers are busting their asses hard too. I mean, this is not easy work, working in factory type conditions. Holy cow.
No, that's huge. I drive by the Ford factory every morning. It's the biggest U.S. auto factory in the country. It's about 10 minutes away from where I'm recording this.
Mm-hmm.
Kansas City Metro has over 10,000 UAW employees because the F-150 is made here. The van is made here. Their work van's made here, the Transit Connect. And Chevy makes the Malibu, and they also make the XT5 Cadillac here. So two big factories right here within about 15 minutes either direction. So it definitely has an impact on the city. And I also see where the workers are coming from too, because the big three, how much money, what profit do you think GM, Ford, and Stellantis made in the first half of the year?
I don't know the answer to that, but I bet you do.
It's a lot. $21 billion. $21 billion.
In the first half of the year, 21 billion.
Yeah.
Profit.
Yeah.
That's profit.
Yeah, and that's even eating. That's profit after eating the massive losses that Ford's ate on their EV division, and GM is eating on their EV division, because if you're looking to buy a EV Equinox or an EV Blazer, which look great, the concepts look terrific, you can't buy one because they're not there.
No.
And if you wanted to go buy your electric Hummer, well, they're there, but they're on stop sale, so you really can't buy it.
Interesting.
So even with absorbing those losses, they still made that much money. And if you're making that much money, Jay, you have a IAUtoAgent when you're getting through the end of the year. And of course, we had on Bob Kluge, our accounting friend from Enterprise CPA recently. Well, when you're compiling the annual results at the IAUtoAgent World Headquarters in the IAUtoAgent Tower, sometimes you're looking for losses, because $21 billion profit is going to equate to a pretty big tax bill. The companies don't terribly care if they lose a little bit of money getting the EVs ready, because if they don't lose all the money goes to taxes anyway, so they don't care. It's not really a loss. If you have to pay, here, is it really a loss? Because this is getting reported into the ground everywhere, every auto site. Oh my God, they're
Absolutely. And
little dot. They made $21 billion. Losing $4.5 billion included in that is nothing. The money was going to go to taxes anyways.
Yep. That's true.
You don't have to cover a $4.5 billion loss with IAUtoAgent, probably.
Not yet.
But
that would be a good problem to have.
Yeah, keep that all in the perspective, because that's being talked about, and there's lots and lots of articles, and quote unquote experts saying, oh my God, they're losing all this money. How are they going to survive? Easy. They made $21 billion with the loss. It doesn't matter. The money would go to taxes anyways.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to keep you up to date on this, folks. All you that are listening, please leave your comments below in the comments section. Subscribe to the Auto Authorities YouTube page. We are going to keep you up to date. This is crazy stuff going on. I can't predict what's going to happen. We have some thoughts.
Yeah.
But thank you for joining us, and we will see you next week. Peace.